Hey there, cat guardians. Jackson Galaxy here. Cats are some of the most intuitive creatures on the planet. They're incredibly perceptive, always observing, always listening. We may think we're in charge, but our feline companions know a lot more about us than we realize. They pick up on our moods, our routines, even the subtlest changes in our behavior. So, if you've ever wondered what your cat really thinks of you, get ready to be amazed. We're gonna uncover the surprising things your cat knows about you that you didn't even know they knew. Let's talk about those ears for a second. Cats have an incredible sense of hearing, far superior to ours. In the wild, their survival depends on detecting the slightest rustle of prey or the stealthy approach of a predator. Your house cat might not be hunting gazelles, but those finely tuned ears are still hard at work, picking up on every little sound you make. The creak of a floorboard, the jingle of your keys, even the soft whisper of your footsteps. Your cat hears it all. They're building a sonic map in their minds, a constantly updating blueprint of your location. That's why they always seem to know exactly where you are, even if you can't see them. They heard that telltale sound from across the house, and their internal GPS system immediately locked onto your location. So next time you think your cat is just napping, remember, they're probably listening to your every move. Now, if you thought their hearing was impressive, wait till you hear about their sense of smell. It's truly extraordinary and often underestimated. Cats have up to 14 times more scent receptors in their noses than humans do. This means they can detect a vast array of scents that we can't even begin to imagine. That means their sense of smell is exponentially more powerful and nuanced than ours. They can differentiate between the subtlest of scents, making their olfactory world incredibly rich and detailed. Imagine walking into a bakery and not just smelling the delicious aroma of fresh bread, but being able to pick out every single ingredient. Flour, yeast, sugar, butter, each scent distinct and clear. That's what it's like for your cat all the time. Their world is a tapestry of smells, each one telling a different story. But here's the thing, cats don't just smell the world around them, they use scent to gather information about their humans. It's their way of staying connected and understanding their environment. They can detect subtle changes in our body chemistry, which means they know where we've been and what we've been doing. It's like they have a built-in detective mode. Ever notice how your cat greets you with a sniff, especially after you've been out? It's their way of saying, "Tell me everything." They're not just being affectionate, they're getting an olfactory update on your day. It's their version of catching up on the latest news. They're smelling the traces of the world you brought home with you. The park, the coffee shop, that stranger you petted on the street. Each scent is a clue to your day's adventures. I've seen this firsthand with so many cats, but one case that really sticks with me involved a calico named Clementine. Her sense of smell was almost like a superpower. Clementine was a real mama's girl, completely devoted to her human, Sarah. Their bond was incredibly strong, and it was fascinating to observe. Whenever Sarah spent time with anyone else, Clementine would become visibly agitated. It was as if she could smell the other person's presence on Sarah and didn't like it one bit. She'd pace, meow incessantly, and as soon as Sarah was back, Clementine would shower her with attention, rubbing against her legs, demanding head scratches. It was her way of re-establishing their connection, so next time you catch your cat giving your clothes a suspicious sniff, don't be offended. They're just trying to piece together the puzzle of your day. They're just trying to catch up on the latest episode of As My Human's Nose Turns. It's their way of staying in the loop and feeling close to you. Chapter 3. Let's talk about routine. We humans crave it, right? Routine gives us a sense of control, a way to manage the chaos of our daily lives. Structure, predictability, a sense of order in our often chaotic lives. Well, guess what? Cats are the ultimate creatures of habit. They thrive on routine, on knowing what to expect and when to expect it. And who better to provide that sense of stability than their beloved humans? Now, I'm not saying cats are walking, meowing alarm clocks, but they do have an uncanny ability to learn and remember our schedules. They know when we wake up, when we feed them, crucial information, when we come home from work, and when it's time for those coveted evening cuddles on the couch. How do they do it? Well, remember those incredible senses we talked about? They play a huge role. Cats pick up on the subtle cues that signal a change in our routine. The sound of the coffee grinder in the morning, the jingle of your keys at the door, even the way we move differently when we're about to go out. But it's more than just sensory cues. Cats are incredibly observant creatures. They watch us, they study our habits, and they learn to anticipate our every move. They're like furry little detectives, piecing together the clues to crack the code of our daily lives. And let me tell you, once a cat has your schedule down, they'll hold you to it. Ever notice how your cat starts meowing for breakfast 5 minutes before your alarm goes off? Or how they magically appear in the kitchen the second you start thinking about dinner? That's not telepathy, my friends. That's a finely tuned internal clock that puts your punctuality to shame. So, embrace the predictability, folks. Your cat certainly has. They find comfort in the routine, and in turn, they offer us a sense of companionship and reliability. It's a beautiful mutual understanding that makes our bond with them even stronger. So next time you see your cat waiting by the door, or meowing for their meal, remember, it's their way of saying they trust you to keep their world in order. And isn't that just the sweetest thing? Chapter 4. We've talked about how cats have superpowers when it comes to their senses, but did you know they also possess an incredible ability to detect changes in our bodies that we might not even be aware of ourselves? One of the most fascinating ways cats demonstrate this ability is through their knack for sensing when we're under the weather. You know how sometimes your cat seems extra cuddly and attentive when you're not feeling well? It's not just in your head. Cats can actually detect physiological changes in our bodies that occur when we're sick. Remember those incredible noses? They're not just sniffing out tuna and catnip. Cats can detect subtle changes in our body odor, which can be an indicator of illness. When we're sick, our bodies produce different chemicals and hormones, and those changes can manifest in our scent, even if we can't consciously smell them ourselves. But it's not just about smell. Cats are also highly attuned to changes in our body temperature. You know how your cat loves to curl up on your lap when you're feeling cold? Well, they can also sense when you're running a fever, and that warmth can be comforting to them. And let's not forget about their incredible hearing. Cats can pick up on subtle changes in our breathing, our heart rate, even the sound of our voice when we're not feeling well. So, the next time you're feeling down, don't be afraid to snuggle up with your feline companion. Their unconditional love and support can be just what the doctor ordered. Chapter 5. Now, we've talked about how cats are masters at reading our physical cues, but their emotional intelligence goes way beyond that. They have an uncanny ability to sense our inner emotional states, often acting as silent observers and empathetic companions. Cats are like emotional sponges, absorbing the energy of their surroundings and the people around them. They can sense when we're happy, sad, or stressed, and they often respond in ways that show they understand what we're going through. They're incredibly sensitive to our moods and emotions, often picking up on our feelings before we're even consciously aware of them ourselves. This sensitivity makes them excellent companions, especially during times of emotional turmoil. Think about it. Cats are hardwired to detect subtle changes in their environment. This ability is not just a quirk, it's a vital part of their survival instinct. It's a survival mechanism, a way to stay one step ahead of potential threats. In the wild, being able to detect danger quickly can mean the difference between life and death. And what's one of the biggest indicators of danger in the wild? You guessed it, fear. Fear is a universal signal that something is wrong, and cats are particularly attuned to it. When we're afraid or stressed, our bodies go into fight or flight mode. This response is hardwired into our biology, and is something our feline friends can easily pick up on. Our heart rate and breathing increase, our muscles tense up, and we start sweating. These changes are not just physical, they send out signals that our cats can detect. These physiological changes trigger the release of hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, which can actually alter our scent. This change in scent is something cats are particularly sensitive to. And remember those incredible feline noses? They can pick up on those subtle changes in our body chemistry, even if we can't consciously smell them ourselves. This makes them incredibly adept at sensing our emotional states. So when we're feeling anxious or stressed, our cats are literally smelling our fear. This ability to detect changes in our scent is just one of the many ways they understand us. But it's not just about scent. Cats are also incredibly adept at reading our body language. They can tell a lot about how we're feeling just by observing us. Cats pick up on subtle cues like changes in our posture, our facial expressions, even the tone of our voice. These cues give them a comprehensive understanding of our emotional state. They pick up on subtle cues like changes in our posture, our facial expressions, even the tone of our voice. So even if we're trying to hide our fear or anxiety, our cats can often sense it. They are incredibly perceptive and can often see through our attempts to mask our true feelings. Ever notice how your cat seems to know when you're about to go to the vet? They sense your apprehension, your attempts to coax them into their carrier, the unfamiliar smells of the vet's office. They sense your apprehension, your attempts to coax them into their carrier, the unfamiliar smells of the vet's office. All these factors contribute to their understanding of the situation. So next time you're feeling overwhelmed, take a moment to connect with your feline companion. Their unconditional love and intuitive understanding can be incredibly grounding. They offer a unique form of comfort that can help you navigate through stressful times. Their unconditional love and intuitive understanding can be incredibly grounding. Spending time with your cat can provide a sense of calm and reassurance, reminding you that you're not alone in your struggles. Outro. So there you have it, folks. The secret lives of our feline companions revealed. They're not just napping and judging our interior design choices, they're building complex sonic maps of our homes, sniffing out our deepest secrets, and offering unwavering emotional support. Who knew those furry little creatures were such perceptive and intuitive beings? It's amazing to think about the depth of their understanding, so next time you look into those enigmatic eyes, remember, your cat knows you better than you think. They see your strengths, your vulnerabilities, your quirks, and they love you unconditionally, even when you forget to refill the food bowl on time.